Ever wondered how to make the perfect margherita pizza at home? Well, today we are going on a culinary adventure to Italy, right from the comfort of your kitchen. We'll be crafting a classic, a margherita pizza so authentic, it will make you feel like you're in a quaint pizzeria on the cobblestone streets of Naples. This masterpiece of simplicity is all about high-quality ingredients. You'll need some pizza dough, which you can either buy pre-made or whip up your own. Next up is a cup of tomato sauce, homemade or store-bought, it's up to you. Add in some fresh, creamy mozzarella cheese and vibrant basil leaves, a drizzle of olive oil, and a dash of salt and pepper to taste. We'll walk you through each step, from prepping your dough to pulling a bubbling golden pizza out of the oven. By the end of this video, you will know how to prepare a delicious margherita pizza right in your kitchen. So, let's get started, shall we? The first step in pizza making is preheating your oven. This is crucial to achieving that perfect, crispy crust we all love. Crank up the oven to the highest temperature it can reach, usually between 475 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven is heating up, let's turn our attention to the dough. If you've opted for store-bought dough, simply follow the instructions on the package. For those making their own, roll it out on a lightly floured surface until you reach your desired thickness. Remember, the thickness of your dough will affect the overall texture of your pizza. Thin for a crispy base or thicker for a more doughy bite. And don't worry if it's not perfectly circular. A rustic shape adds character to your pizza. With your oven preheated and dough ready, you're all set for the next step. Now it's time to give your pizza some flavor. Let's begin with the tomato sauce. This sauce will act as the flavorful base for our margherita pizza. Pour a generous cup of your chosen tomato sauce onto the center of the dough. Using the back of a spoon, spread the sauce evenly across the dough, leaving a small border around the edges for the crust. The key here is to ensure every bite of the pizza will have a taste of this delicious sauce. Next up is the mozzarella cheese. Take slices of fresh mozzarella and arrange them evenly over the sauce. If you want a more rustic look, feel free to tear the cheese into pieces before scattering them over the sauce. This cheese will melt into a creamy, dreamy layer that pairs perfectly with the tomato sauce below. With the sauce and cheese in place, you're halfway to your homemade margherita pizza. The next step is adding the basil and seasoning. Now, let's bring on the fresh basil leaves. They're not just for garnish, they bring a sweet and slightly peppery flavor that balances out the richness of the cheese. Scatter them over the pizza. You can tear the leaves or leave them whole depending on your preference. Don't be shy, basil is the soul of margherita pizza. Next, we're going to add a bit of salt and pepper. You don't need much, just a pinch. Sprinkle it over the pizza to taste. The salt will bring out the flavors of the other ingredients, and the pepper adds a little bit of heat, but not too much. It's all about balance. So there you have it. You've transformed your dough, sauce, and cheese into a beautiful, almost ready-to-bake margherita pizza. Once you've added the basil and seasoning, you're just a step away from putting your pizza in the oven. It's time to bake your creation. Now that your margherita pizza is beautifully dressed and ready, it's time to slide it into the preheated oven. Be gentle as you transfer the pizza to ensure that all your carefully placed toppings stay intact. A pizza peel or a flat baking sheet can be a great help for this step. The waiting game begins now. The oven's high heat will work its magic, turning your raw, doughy masterpiece into a crispy, cheesy delight. Bake your pizza until the crust is a golden brown and the cheese on top is bubbling with joy. This process usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven and the thickness of your pizza base. Remember, patience is the key here. You might be tempted to open the oven door to peek at your pizza, but resist that urge. Opening the oven door too often can cause the temperature to drop, which might lead to an unevenly baked pizza. Trust in the process and let the heat do its work. While your pizza is baking, it's a good time to clean up your workspace or prepare any additional sides or drinks you'd like to serve with your pizza. But don't wander too far. Keep a close eye on your pizza as it bakes to prevent it from overcooking. As the pizza bakes, you'll notice the cheese starting to melt and bubble, and the crust getting that desirable golden brown hue. The aroma of baking bread, melting cheese, and fresh basil will fill your kitchen, making the wait all the more tantalizing. To check if your pizza is done, you could use a spatula to slightly lift the pizza and check the bottom. If it's golden and firm, your pizza is ready. The cheese should be fully melted and bubbling with small brown spots. When the crust is golden brown and the cheese is bubbly, your margherita pizza is ready to come out of the oven. And there you have it, your homemade margherita pizza, hot and fresh out of the oven, waiting to be devoured. The final step is the best part, serving your homemade margherita pizza. Once your pizza is out of the oven, the tempting aroma will surely make you want to dig in immediately. But patience, my friends, is a virtue. Let the pizza cool for a few minutes. This isn't just to keep you from burning your tongue, but also to let the flavors meld together in the cheese to set just a bit. When you're ready to slice into your masterpiece, use a pizza cutter or a large, sharp knife. Cut it into as many slices as you like, but remember, the traditional way to serve a margherita pizza is in 8 delectable slices. Arrange these slices on a large platter or a rustic wooden board for that authentic pizzeria feel. Pair it with a fresh salad or some grilled veggies on the side if you like. And there you have it, your homemade margherita pizza. Enjoy your meal.